Born second in line to the throne, the Duke of York was one of the core members of the firm for several decades. After leaving the Royal Navy, Prince Andrew travelled the world as the UK's special representative for international trade and investment. He also carried out royal engagements in the UK and joined links with several organisations, including Fight for Sight, Attend and the Royal United Services Institute. As a working royal, he also held honorary military titles and represented the Crown and the country abroad by taking part in overseas trips. The Duke of York's standing in the royal family, however, changed in November 2019, when he stepped back from public duties following his disastrous interview with Newsnight's Maitlis. Andrew has since made only a few public appearances alongside members of the firm and at events open to the wider royal family. Express.co.uk looked into the possible role Prince Andrew could play at the historic coronation of his elder brother. Though Buckingham Palace hasn't confirmed the Duke of York will attend the coronation of his brother on Saturday, it has been widely tipped he will be among the 2,200-strong crowd. However, given the Duke is no longer a working member of the firm, he is unlikely to be as prominent during the service as senior royals such as Princess Anne or the Prince of Wales. Sources dismissed in February the idea Prince Andrew could play a significant role during the coronation after it was noted Garter knights such as him have been historically chosen for key roles during the services crowning British monarchs. While Andrew remains a Knight of the Most Noble Order of the Garter, he stepped down as a senior royal after being hit by backlash in the wake of his interview with Newsnight, which was entirely focused on his association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. In January last year, more than 2 years since he had last carried out a royal engagement, Andrew also returned his royal patronages and military associations to the late Queen. At the time, he was facing the prospect of a trial in New York after Virginia Giuffre had launched a civil lawsuit against him, in which she had accused Prince Andrew of sexually abusing her while she was 17 and being trafficked by Epstein. The Duke, who has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, and Miss Giuffre settled out of court a few weeks later, a move which didn't represent an admission of liability on Andrew's behalf. Despite the settlement, Andrew did not return to the forefront of the firm. A few weeks later, he walked Elizabeth II through Westminster Abbey to attend the memorial service for Prince Philip, but his prominence was hugely criticised by many commentators and members of the public alike. Following the death of the Queen in September, he joined several events and cortèges to honour his mother's memory, and it was reported he and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson would take care of the late monarch's surviving dogs. If Andrew does attend the coronation service, he will not play any role but the one of the spectator. As a duke, he would have been required to step at the centre of the abbey, kneel in front of the king and pledge his allegiance to him. But the streamlined coronation taking place on Saturday is reportedly no longer including the Duke's pledge, a move commentators have described as smart not just because it slashes the time of the service but also because it avoids putting the spotlight on the Duke of York and the Duke of Sussex. As a non-working royal, Andrew is also unlikely to take part in the coronation procession taking place after the crowning of the King and Queen, which will see prominent firm members travelling by carriage from Westminster Abbey to Buckingham Palace. Finally, Andrew is unlikely to join Charles and Camilla on the balcony of Buckingham Palace to watch the RAF fly past. During the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, the late Queen also reserved this honour to senior members of the